2 free transfers, and I'm going to be using both of them. Welcome to the Gianni Battici YouTube show. Hope you guys are well and you had a green arrow in game week 19. We're looking ahead to game week 20, and these are my early thoughts. So first and foremost, Cunha looks like a sell to me. Yes, we've got an okay fixture coming up, Forest at home, but then it's about to get really difficult for Cunha. Plus, surely he's going to be banned soon. And even if he's not, he might not even be fit for game week 20. We saw him come off at halftime against Spurs. Looks like a tight hamstring, ice on it. Doesn't sound great for him. So if we're selling Cunha, who are we buying? Well, look, this is my current squad. And if you're watching or listening and enjoying the show, please do hit that like button and do hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you so much for all the subs over Christmas, New Year's, by the way. I've got 1.4 million in the bank. I've got 2 free transfers. Now, these are, of course, my early thoughts, and stuff could change. Like, who knows what happens on Wednesday night between Arsenal and Brentford, blah, blah, blah. But at the moment, I'm thinking of using 2 free transfers. Now, let me run through the players in my team that are vulnerable. I look at Rico Lewis. He's vulnerable. Absolutely. The midfield 5, I'm happy with Rodgers, Enzo, Palmer, and Salah, but Phil Foden's maybe a little bit vulnerable now. Like, I thought he had a really bad game against Leicester. He went off, and him and Pep, there was nothing there between them, like no handshake, nothing. Obviously, I got a 6-pointer and an assist, and I'm happy with that. But I don't know. Phil Foden probably gets the West Ham game, but then might be on the chopping block, same as Rico Lewis. But it's the front line. It's Cunha, it's João Pedro. How do I get ISAK in? My original thoughts, let me explain them to you. So with 2 free transfers, getting to ISAK isn't going to be a problem. I also have some money in the bank. So Cunha feels like a sell regardless, even if I knew he was fit for Forest. Cunha is a route to ISAK. So this is what my team would look like if I transferred out Cunha to ISAK and João Pedro down to Stewart, bench fodder. Now, let me just explain the thought process there. Do we need fully fledged benches? Over the Christmas period, yes. When we're using our bench boost, absolutely. But at the moment, I'm very likely to wildcard before I use my bench boost. Therefore, I can have a dead spot. I don't have a dead spot in defence. I don't have a Greaves. I've got 5 good defenders that rotate. Gabriel and Trent start every week. And then Rico Lewis, Hall and Mikalenko, it's usually 1 from 3, right? My 8th attacker can definitely be a dead spot. And if one of my 7 attackers doesn't play, either Mikalenko or a Hall coming off the bench. Like, that's fine. Having 2 good subs is fine with a dead spot. Now, Stewart is 4.4 million. That money goes so far. I could find money and go, I don't know, a 4.9 or 5.1 Adam Armstrong starts. But if he's going to be 3rd sub, why spend the money? Like, pocket the extra 0.7 and don't go Armstrong, go Stewart, right? So I'm happy with a dead spot for now. I'm having benching dilemmas every week. I'll probably still continue to have them even with him in. So João Pedro down to Stewart gives me loads of money in the bank. It allows me to go Cunha up to ISAK and still keep 0.4. So my original thinking, come game week 20, my hot take, and this is still very reactionary, is that these will be the moves I make. Of course, I'm not committing to anything yet. And yes, ISAK price rises are annoying, but I've come this far without him. I'm soaking it up. Now, so far, it's been a very, very good game week 19. I'm recording this before all of the Sunday games, and I'm on a good green arrow. I hope to be inside the top 1,000,000 for the first time in forever. And it's been a dreadful season, but signs are there. Signs are there. I do have some players that are still vulnerable in this team, though, and I look at my Man City spots and think, oh, do I want to keep them? And I'm not so sure I do. The West Ham fixture is good because it's home. Rico Lewis will probably be on my bench. Probably. I don't know yet. And Foden's going to be in the 11, but that could be his last game. There are other players I like. I'm looking at Crystal Palace as a team as possibly a replacement for Foden and Lewis. It's like, do I invest in Palace? And let's have a look at Palace in a little bit more detail, shall we? Because it's not the best entry point in game week 20, and I won't be going Palace in 20, but in 21, I absolutely will be. By the way, guys, do hit that like button and subscribe. If you're new around here, I'd love to get some subs going into 2025. That's weird saying 25, isn't it? Also, drop a comment. Let me know what you think to my team. Daniel Munoz has the form and the fixtures. He clocked versus Southampton an XGI of 0.64. Dom Solanke in his last 2 games has clocked an XGI of 0.4 in 2 games. Manoz has just got 0.64. Like in 1 game, he is a right winger when Palace have the ball. He's a wing back, so advanced. The fixtures are there after the Chelsea game. It's a sea of green. Leicester, West Ham, Bournemouth. We've got Man United in there, then Everton and Fulham. It's a great, great run, and I want a piece of that. So Manoz is going to be coming into this team. Now, how do I get Manoz into the team? Well, when we look back, very easily, with 0.4 in the bank, Rico Lewis to Manoz is a transfer I'd very happily make. And I think that will be my move in Game Week 21. Okay. When we look at how they play for Crystal Palace and that average position map, this is from between the posts. I mean, it makes great reading for Manoz. Manoz and Mitchell were similar in price. Mitchell was actually 0.1 more, similar in position. But in terms of eye test, in terms of stats, Manoz wins all day long. He's high in advance. There is no right winger ahead of him. Sarr plays quite central and narrow, right off Mateta, and Manoz just bombs on. I really like the look of this Crystal Palace team at the moment. The back 3 means I think we're going to get some clean sheets. It's effectively a back 3, but back 5 out of possession. And I'm here for it. So that's my take on Crystal Palace. Eze is still a very good pick, but deciding between Eze and Ismaila Sarr is going to be tricky. And when I look at my team, I think maybe I'll be looking for a Crystal Palace midfielder instead of Phil Foden. Now, Sarr is cheaper. Sarr has better XGI numbers, XA, XG. Eze probably has the XA, to be fair. And the assist numbers are there for Eze. Eze is also 90 minutes guaranteed. Sarr has a few bad games, could be dropped. He's not nailed, like wasn't earlier in the season, and Ketia still exists. Eze's the talisman, has depends the set pieces. So I like Eze if you can afford him, I think, but Sarr's been brilliant in the last few weeks, and owners were a bit unlucky in Game Week 19 not to get anything against Southampton. Captaincy for Game Week 20 and benching dilemmas for Game Week 20, we're going to have them. I'll have a benching dilemma on my bench. Stuart makes the 7 attackers an easy conversation each week, which I'm glad of. But Salah has to be our captain, doesn't he? The way Salah is playing right now is like, it's like nothing we've ever really seen before in FPL. Salah's FPL record is 303 points. Well, Salah's just about to he's hit 200. And we're only halfway through the season. Salah is on course for a 400-point season. I don't expect him to get there, but will he beat his record of 303? Absolutely he will. Like, to be on that number of points, 202 after 19 rounds, is phenomenal. In years gone by, Mo Salah's points have been like 211 last time out, 239, 265, 231, 233, always around 230. He's had a 259 and a 303. He's going to smash it. And fair play. He feels like almost a bit of a perma captain. When we look at the next few rounds, Man United at home, you go there. Forest away in 21 and Brentford away in 22. Okay, it's not the best fixtures, but the way he's playing, and Cole Palmer in those fixtures plays Crystal Palace away and Bournemouth at home. Like, no gimmies. So I expect Salah to be our captains for the foreseeable. If you want to think outside the box, of course, always do have a look. But I'm very set on Salah. I think I'm set on my transfers this week. I'm pretty sure I'll be going Stuart and ISAK in. But let's see what the news brings. There's always news. There's always injuries. There's always new bits of information. So I won't be locking in anything just yet. If you've enjoyed the video, do hit your subscribe buttons on the way out with the notification bell. And do check me out for another video very, very soon. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.